There's my boy.
How you doing, man?
Good, buddy. You okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. So we weren't able to record last week, which is fine.
No,
Um,
I have a story about that.
okay. All right. Let's hear that.
Okay, so my wife, not my wife. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna cut that. My daughter is on the tennis team.
All right.
Yeah. They kept everybody. That's okay. She's
kept
she's
everybody.
she kept they didn't cut anybody. They kept everybody who tried out. They kept all
Oh,
all
okay.
24 girls or whatever. So they have just absolutely huge tennis team.
That is a pretty big team.
Yeah. She's junior varsity, of course, and she plays doubles. So, I guess, like from what I've learned, the best play varsity singles. And then there's a sliding scale at the very end is JV doubles, right? But that's fine.
Yeah. So generally, the way it works is when you go to have she had a meet yet?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, she's at her third one today.
Okay. So the way they usually go, right, is you go either the team that you're playing comes to you, or you go to them.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, at least in when I was doing it, there were usually 5 matches, 3 singles, 2 doubles.
Okay.
And the first singles match was generally the best player on each team. Then the second singles were second best, third singles were that, and then you had like the first doubles team and then the second doubles team. And when I started, I was like kind of riding the bench, and then I became second doubles, then I became first doubles. I was never good enough for singles. I don't know if that's how it works for her, but
I think roughly, yeah.
okay.
So usually record on Thursdays.
Right.
Well, previous Thursday, she had practice, and it was just a JV practice, squad 2, they call it squad 2, just JV. And I went to pick her up at the high school after practice, and she told me the story. And basically what had happened was she was practicing, and one of the coaches was like, "Arabelle, let me see your racket." Okay. And she took Arabelle's racket and tried to use it, and basically said, "Oh my God, Arabelle, your racket is horrible."
Okay.
It is way too heavy at the end. Like, and the coach is like, "I've been playing tennis for like 20 years. I can't even use this racket. It's bad. It's real bad." So she had her first match was on that next Friday. So she got in the car and she's a little distraught telling me this story. And I was like, well, this is a problem money can solve. Right? Like I will gladly take you. Of course, there's like one place in Columbus that is like a tennis store. They close at 5. This is well past 5. And I was like, well, I can just take you to Dick's. They have tennis rackets. You can look at them. If you want to buy one, you can buy one. If not, that's fine. If you don't want to go, if you just want to wait and figure this out later, it's absolutely fine. So she kind of contemplated stuff. We went home. We had dinner. And she was like, yeah, go ahead and take me to Dick's, which is the point where I was like, I can't record, Drew.
Okay.
I didn't tell you this, but we're having a tennis racket emergency. So we took her out to Dick's, and we must have been there. I have to imagine everybody in the store was just absolutely annoyed with us. We brought a tennis ball, and we didn't hit the tennis bar very far, but we did bounce the tennis balls off some rackets. We must have tried every single racket that was in there. Heck, we even used a little bit of a Chatty G to ask it to like, hey, tell me about this racket. Is it good for beginners? And stuff like that. It was fun. So we ended up buying a racket. I can't remember what it is, but that's not important. So she bought the racket, and literally after we bought the racket, I was like, well, like we have tennis balls. You have a new racket. Do you want to go hit some balls?
Yeah.
And at that point, it had started raining. So I took her to a nearby park that had some tennis courts in the rain, and she tried some serves and stuff. And obviously I didn't have another tennis racket, but I would bounce balls at her and toss them over to her and generally be a fool running around chasing balls. And she's like, wow, I really do like this tennis racket a lot better. Uh, and at that point, she felt good. We went home. And then Friday was her first match, and she won.
All right. So I
Yep.
gotta ask, right?
Mhm.
What was the racket she had before?
It was I think it was not Wilson Prince. Prince, is that
Prince, yeah,
one?
Prince.
Yeah,
Prince is definitely a brand.
but it was not a very expensive racket. It's probably like $40 or whatever. Uh, we spent a little bit more on the new racket. It's basically like, just don't look at the prices there, but pick a racket that you like. Uh, but the new one, I can't remember what the new one she has now. It's a brand that I do not recognize. Uh, but she's a lot happier with the new racket, and she had a match yesterday in which she lost, and I think she's actually playing her third match right now. So
It's funny because I remember when the first time I ever picked up a tennis racket were like my parents' tennis rackets,
Mhm.
and they had two. They actually had old wooden rackets
Oh wow,
that
yeah.
had like the longer handles and a smaller
Mhm.
head, and they also had a metal racket.
Hmm.
And I remember when I started playing, they had lighter material rackets. It still had some metal rackets, and they
Mhm.
had some like I don't know if they were necessarily plastic, but they were maybe aluminum or of some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah,
And then I remember what became hot when I was doing it is they started using graphite in rackets.
yeah.
So they became
Okay.
incredibly light. Like the first couple
Yeah,
tennis rackets I swung were not they weren't heavy, but they were, you could tell that you were swinging something. But
yeah,
now with the different materials, and I can only imagine it's even better now. They're
yeah,
so incredibly light, and
yeah.
the
I,
different strings matter, and
yeah, yep. Yeah, she had a weight goal in mind. She wanted it to be, I think, like, was it less than 9 ounces or less than 8 ounces? Still, like,
that's pretty light.
incredibly light.
Now,
Like,
did she buy a full sized female racket or is it a junior racket?
it's a full size female
Full
racket.
size.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I
yeah,
wasn't sure. I mean, I think kids. I mean, I know they make the smaller ones, but I mean, she's in high school, so I mean, I'm sure
yeah.
that's perfectly
Uh-huh.
fine. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, well, good for her.
Mhm.
So she likes it.
Yeah, yeah. She likes it. She's enjoying tennis. Today is a rich full day for her. It's her first day back at school and a tennis match. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she already
well,
has a
good for
chemistry quiz tomorrow. So yeah, yeah.
now she's a sophomore.
She's a sophomore.
Sophomore, right.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
since we're here and we're talking about kids,
Mm-hmm.
where's Zach?
Uh, this is his last week. Next Friday, the 22nd, he moves into his dorm. So
I guess, yeah.
I've got a few more days with him. That's really about it.
I mean, it really is only the middle of August. I feel like kids go back early and early every year.
Yeah, and they get out earlier, and yeah, and they build in more calamity days in case like they have used more snow days and they have legally. So yeah,
Every day is a
yeah,
calamity day for me, Paul.
yeah. Oh, so what's up with you?
Okay.
How's that
Uh,
fiber?
okay. So the fiber is good. So
Fiber's good.
I want to tell
Okay.
you a tale of woe.
Okay.
So as you know, I'm deep
Mhm.
in the ubiquity lifestyle.
I do know that. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's been good. I have access points, I have switches, I have a router. Everything's good. Now, the one thing in my house that constantly gives me grief is I had a Eufy doorbell that was completely wireless.
Okay.
I'm not even going to link it because it's trash. The app is trash.
Don't buy it. Yeah.
The app would show you notifications that were basically ads.
Uh.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm sure you could subscribe, but really the doorbell only existed as a way to know when somebody was at my front door. And I have, a network camera also on my porch. So I was sick of this thing. So a couple months ago it started acting up where it would just not connect to my Wi-Fi every once in a while.
Oh,
And
that's no good.
yeah, and it was like two pieces. So the doorbell itself was like this plastic. Well, there was like a plastic thing that like screwed into the wood on my front porch, and then the doorbell would go into this thing, and it had no wires in it at all. It was completely wireless, so it had like a rechargeable battery in it, which that right there is annoying. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to like go out
Charge your
there,
doorbell.
right, and it had like a special latch that you needed, basically like a paper clip to like get it out of there, charge it, take it back out, pain in the ass. And then the base unit is what talked to Wi-Fi. So that was the thing that would join Wi-Fi. That's what like the SD card was in. So if it was making recordings and whatnot, like that's what that was in. And ever since we like the family that lived here before us, like it was there. So like we had to like, reset it, take it over, and it worked. It worked. It was perfectly fine, other than the charging thing for like 2 years. But then a couple months ago, like it would just like lose connection to Wi-Fi. I tried moving it, closer to the access point, thinking like, okay, maybe it's my mesh network or something, but it really didn't matter. So I was like, fuck it. I want to replace this. And, I'm in the Ubiquity lifestyle. So I went shopping and I bought this.
Okay.
So this is the G4 Doorbell Pro PoE kit. And as the name implies, it is a Ubiquity doorbell. It is pretty fucking awesome, as you can imagine.
Okay.
So the couple main features. Well, there's a couple really cool features about it, but one that really sealed the deal for me is, first and foremost, it's power over Ethernet, so it's wired. So I had to call an electrician. They had to drill a big hole in my wall. They ran the cable all the way from like my doorbell to my cellar. I wasn't even going to try to do that. They actually did a really good job. They only had to cut one drywall hole. They were able to fish it through my downstairs by taking out some of my can lights and then putting them back. So I was really impressed with like what they were able to do. So they ran it and I installed it, and it's great. It's got great resolution. It's in the native Ubiquity system. So, it's part of the Protect app. So if you've ever used Ubiquity before, when you log into the console, there's different tabs. So there's a tab for network, and that's where you configure your ports and your Wi-Fi and all that other stuff. And then Protect is if you have cameras or door access or other stuff like this doorbell, like that's the tab that it lives in. And it actually has two cameras in it. It has a camera that is like front facing, and then it has a camera that calls the package camera, where it is like a downward facing angle at like your step or like your porch. So if somebody sets something there, you can see if it's still there or not. And it's got like really, really good detection. It knows when there's like my other camera would just detect motion. It wouldn't differentiate, right? This is like, oh, there's a person. Oh, there's a car. Oh, there's a dog. Oh, it's raining, whatever. You can set up all different types of alerts. The settings are crazy good. And you can have it show a little picture on the LCD
I saw that
display.
A little screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
cute.
And it's reactive, right? So you can have it show a picture all the time, but if it detects a delivery, it can like flash a message like, please leave package on step or whatever. It's phenomenal. But the number one killer feature is when somebody rings the doorbell, it makes a fart noise now.
Like if I push a doorbell, would I hear a fart noise?
You don't hear it.
Okay, you don't
but
hear it.
But in my house, it sounds like there's a wet fart somewhere in my house. So yeah, you can upload your own sounds. So like what also is in the box is there's like a remote chime that's also power over Ethernet. And right now that's just in my back cellar. I'm going to run the cable for that. I just don't know where I want that to ultimately live. Okay. So that's great, right? Like everything's good. It worked for one day.
Oh no.
It worked for one day. So because this is part of the Protect system, it has to have like your Protect app running on your Ubiquity gear has to have storage. Now, my Dream Machine Special Edition has one hard drive slot. So I plugged it in and I was able to adopt the device, but it kept giving me warnings like, hey, not possible to record. So it wasn't working. So I shut down my Dream Machine and I went to Micro Center and I bought a new hard drive and I put a hard drive in it. And I had previously had a hard drive in it, but it wasn't booting with the hard drive in it. And I had read online, it's like, yeah, if your hard drive's bad, like it might cause your Dream Machine to not boot or whatever. And once I took the hard drive out and rebooted it, it was fine. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go buy a new hard drive. So like I researched like, what does Ubiquiti recommend for hard drives? And they're like Purple, Surveillance, Western Digital, or Seagate or whatever. So I just, went to Micro Spenders, spent $70 on like a 4 gig Purple rated hard drive. And I went home and I shut down the Ubiquiti. I shut it down the right way. I went into the console, shut it down, unplugged it, took the old or the whole, I took the hard drive cage out, put the new hard drive in, put it in, booted it back up, and it wouldn't boot. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I fussed with it for like 24 hours and I just could not get it to boot. It was to the point where I couldn't even factory reset my Dream Machine. Now, these things are not cheap. They're anywhere from $350 to $450. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I read Reddit posts. I read support posts. I tried everything. I just could not get it to work. So I called Ubiquiti and surprise, surprise, they give you a 2-year warranty. I bought this thing 2 years and 4 months ago. So I was out of warranty.
Oh, fuck.
So, okay. So I ended up having to replace it. But what I did replace it with is I replaced it with this. Still in the Ubiquiti ecosystem, but I replaced it with the Dream Machine Pro Max.
Pro Max.
Now, this is the same thing, give or take, except it has 2 hard drive ports.
2. Okay.
So you might be wondering, why wouldn't I just buy the same thing that I had? Well,
this was Pro Max.
Well, it's Pro Max, but it has 2 hard drive slots as opposed to 1. Now, when I was in here poking around in this thing, the latest version of the Ubiquiti software that runs on the router has a new feature. Now, they call it a preview feature, but they now support third-party cameras.
Oh, okay.
So if your cameras have an RTSP feed, I think is the name of the protocol, which is essentially just like your camera serving HTTPS or whatever, or HTTP, it can now read from those cameras. So like my off-brand non-Ubiquiti cameras can now be part of my Ubiquiti Protect application. So I can have the doorbell and I can have my 3 exterior cameras on it. Now it's not perfect because they're not Ubiquiti cameras. It doesn't support all the same features, right? Like it doesn't do detection and it doesn't do alerting, which is kind of defeats the purpose in my opinion of doing it. Now, what's interesting is, and it also doesn't record sound from my cameras, which is kind of shitty. But long story short, you can actually SSH into the Dream Machine Pro Max, and there's essentially a JSON file in there that lets you tamper with the different feeds that it picks up from your camera. So, like my exterior cameras right now actually provide 2 feeds. They provide a low quality feed and a high quality feed. Whenever I put in the default settings to have it like read from my cameras, it picks up the low quality one, and it won't pick up the audio channel. But if I were to go in there and tamper with this JSON, which I have not done yet, so I don't know if it's going to work. Apparently, I can tell it to use the audio feed, and I can tell it to use the high quality feed. And if I can get it to do that much, I might be able to consolidate completely in the Ubiquiti Protect ecosystem versus the what's it called? My stupid NAS that I can't remember the name of right now. Oh my god. Who makes my NAS? Synology. Yeah, the Synology security station solution, which works fine. Like if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. But I would like to try to consolidate on one thing, and this might be a way to get me to do that. And look, if they continue to improve the compatibility with third-party cameras, then that's going to be the best solution, I think, for me. But yeah, that was kind of my big catastrophe. So like I didn't have internet for like 24 hours while I was trying to figure this out. So like I have a new puppy. I've got like work stuff. I'm trying to do this yeah. But it's good. Yeah, I really like my doorbell. I could make it have a picture of my dog. And like I said, you can upload all the different sounds and everything. It's pretty good. Yeah. It's like the camera on that thing is so good. It's so good. And you can have like the LED light up and everything, which I know you love. Now they do make a Wi-Fi version. It still has to get power though. So like if you had a regular doorbell, which my house didn't
Well, that's
have, by the way,
yeah. That's
like
what
it could
mine is. So it powers off the doorbell wires. Yeah,
yeah, and at our old
yeah.
house, when I had my Ring doorbell at the old house, I was able to wire it into that. My house is interesting. So I don't think my house has ever had a doorbell. And the reason I say
Huh,
that is
that's weird.
when my
Yeah.
house was built, it was built in 1989, I believe, 36 years old, right? So that would be 89.
Mhm.
So when my house was built, and I'm looking at it right now because it has this system in it called Valet. So it's like a whole home intercom.
Oh, okay.
So, like for example, in our bedroom and in my office and in our laundry room, there are these boxes. And I'm pretty sure there was one on my front porch at some time. But there isn't one there now. And they don't work, right? They're not powered right now because upstairs in my kitchen, you can very clearly see an outline of a bigger like section where I think it used to be, where like the master control panel used to be. So I don't know where exactly on my front porch those wires were. And that's why I decided to just go with this one. I went with this one mostly because, power over Ethernet, it's easy, and it came with the chime in the box, which is also PoE, which is pretty nice.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that was my big thing. So that was kind of like an unexpected expense that I didn't really kind of anticipate.
Right.
So, all right. So let's talk about Apple stuff.
Yeah. I'm a big beta boy.
So
big,
iOS and Watch. Okay,
big
iOS
beta,
and
big
Watch
beta boy,
OS.
big beta boy. Yeah, actually, technically, now I've also been doing and iPad OS.
What about Mac OS?
And Mac OS.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm running that on just my Mac Mini. My main MacBook Pro still has whatever this current version is. For Sequoia, and not Tahoe. Sequoia. God damn it. So yeah. But I'm running
Well,
the betas. I'm running all the betas.
okay, so I'll admit I'm a little out of the loop with Apple stuff right now because
Mm-hmm.
gestures at dog.
Yeah.
Help me understand what's in these OSs and kind of like walk me through each one of these things and what you're noticing.
Okay, so the biggest thing that you will notice across all of the OSs is the new design.
Oh, it's the what do they call it? The
Liquid
glass,
glass.
liquid glass. Yep.
Liquid glass.
Now, what do you think of it?
I I I love it. I love it.
Okay.
It's great. I think it looks so cool. I wish it was a little bit more on the Mac. On the Mac, it's very, very subtle. You'd almost have to do like side by side in some situations. Like sidebars look a little different, and there's just not a lot there. And I also haven't used Mac OS very much because mostly I'm just on that thing to do little things or do some Xcode stuff. But in iOS, Watch OS, iPad OS, it's going to be pretty striking. They are really leaning into more transparency in controls. So, like, for example, if you pull down Control Center, every little button is this frosted, translucent glass thing with an icon on it instead of whatever it was before. And you can see like the colors of your icon shining through. Now, some betas, the early betas, I started at beta 4. Now we're on beta 6 as of like a few days ago. The early betas from screenshots, I mean, it was rough. It was too transparent. And heck, even now, you can still get it to look bad if you work at it. Like, so, okay, a good example of that. So let's just say that I open up the App Store, and all of the buttons all the buttons at the bottom are now in a tab bar, and the active one is, and all of them are kind of translucent. So all the tabs at the bottom, like today, games, apps, arcade, that is semi-transparent. So what that means is as you scroll, if there is, let's see if I can get it to do it. Yeah. So as you scroll, if it wants to, so I use light mode because I'm a fancy boy.
Yeah, no, you're a normal
So
person. Yep.
so by default, the glass is light and the selected icon is blue, and the other unselected icons are black. If you
Mhm.
scroll and you get over really dark content, the glass gets a little darker, the icon changes from black to white, and the selected icon is like a lighter blue. And sometimes you can get it over top of something where like you just like it's too dark, you can't read anything, it's just real bad. But you scroll a little bit and then everything kind of pops into place because you're over a different color. uh I do think it looks really cool. I understand why there's a lot of like developers who are just kind of grumpy and trying to get their apps redesigned to work with it. And I get that. I get that. But I think most people are going to look at this design and I think they are really going to like it.
I
Uh,
I'm sort of like holding judgment because I want to see it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. It feels like the thing that I am worried about is I don't think a lot of third party apps are going to embrace it.
Huh.
So it's going to be like an Apple only thing, right? Because a lot of third party apps, like think of like Spotify, they have a very strong brand. Their app looks the same no matter what you're doing it. They're not going to have a drop of liquid glass in it. Google, they don't give a shit. They like their material design, which barf.
Yeah.
It's everything's going to look like that. Maybe some indie developers will embrace it to try to differentiate themselves, and those are also like big Apple fans, so they want to be doing the latest and newest thing. So I think maybe your third party independent apps like Overcast is going to have some liquid glass in it. Of course it is. But I think overall, I think it looks really cool. Yes, you can get screenshots where it looks bad, yet you can force it. They're still tweaking it overall. There's still everyone. It's beta 6 is actually running pretty good. Every once in a while, I see like an animation bug. Every once in a while, I saw them a lot more on beta 5. Beta 6 seems to be pretty solid. It's also developer beta 6 is out, and also public beta 3 came out today too. So if you want to get on the public beta, you can. It's the same version. Every app I have tried to use have worked. So if anyone wants to jump on the beta train and be a big beta boy like me, it's a good time to jump on if you want to check it out. WatchOS isn't that different. It's just some of the buttons look more liquid glassy now. This is the first time I've ever ran a watch beta, so meh. iPad OS is very interesting
Okay.
because what they did is they said, fuck it. You want Windows? You're getting Windows.
Oh. Okay.
You want to be able to resize everything and have as many windows open on your iPad as you possibly can squeeze in there, and you want to resize them all to be exactly right. You just get those windows, you filthy little boy. You just get them. It actually works really well. They did get rid of like slide over and pop over, which I did use slide over some. But it's actually really cool. You get a little like grabby handle in the bottom right hand corner of all your apps. You can grab it and you can just resize that window. It live resizes. Then if you open up another app and resize it, you can see them both on the same screen. They can actually overlap each other. Who would have thought? Yeah, they basically just like fuck it.
So
do whatever you want.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So now,
Mm-hmm.
will it work with any app, or do developers have to support it?
I haven't had an app that doesn't work.
So basically, you launch the app. Does it
Mhm.
launch full screen, and then you have to like swipe to turn it into a window?
Yeah, that's how it's been working for me. I think let's see if I launch an app and I make it small. Here, we're going to do some live iPadding right here. So let me just open up Net Newswire and make it small. And then let me open up another app. Actually, let's close you. Let's open up DC Universe. Okay, yep, that did launch in full screen. Let's try another one here. Let's open up my to-do app. Yeah, so it opened up full screen originally, and then I can just resize it down. Yeah, but it works really well. If you could, it does it. Yeah, it works extremely well.
What is the
I'm
name of
really
that
impressed.
feature?
What do they call it?
Because if I Google iPad Windows, it's just about people trying to jailbreak it and run SP.
Oh, let's see. Because you can. What's an interesting thing is if you're like an old and you just want to have one app at a time, big iPhone, iPad mode, you totally can turn it off. Okay, so it's in multitasking and gestures. So it is called windowed apps.
Windowed apps.
So the options you have is full screen apps. Always use apps full screen and swipe home to switch between them.
Okay,
and
so
there's
split
windows.
view, slide over, and center.
Yeah. So this is windowed. Yeah.
So at most you could have two things open.
No. You can have. I think on my iPad I can have 8. 26. When
in split view, 2 apps show side by side.
Well, split view's gone. Split view is gone.
Oh,
it's gone. It's
so
gone.
This is the new version of. Okay, I'm reading the current one.
Okay, yeah. So here's a what? This is an Apple Insider. I do not like that their logo is AI. That bothers me. But they're Apple Insider, and it shows you some screenshots about what it looks like. Mm-hmm. Control Center doesn't look that bad. Control Center looks better than that in that screenshot. It must be an old beta. If you scroll down, but yeah, that's what it looks like. You can see the little grabby thing on the right, and you can just resize that window.
Yep, you can basically always have it be full screen. You can do windowed apps, or you can do Stage Manager.
Yep. And and if an app is windowed, all you have to do now, like the traffic lights, the red, orange, and green controls, now that they're on iPad windows, it's kind of cute because they're really, really, really small, and you tap it and then they get big, and then you can tap on the control again, which I think is a pretty clever way of doing it. And you can just put it right back into full screen, and then it's there, and it looks like a regular iPad app, but it's got the little whoop-de-doo in the corner. You can just grab that sucker and go. Yeah, it's pretty great. Not that I'm a huge iPad productivity user. I mean, I pretty much have exactly 3 reasons I use my iPad. I use it to edit the podcast with Ferrite. I read comic books on it, and I play Sudoku puzzles on it. So Sudoku. There you go.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And then what about Mac OS?
Mac OS is very, very subtle. I would say there's not a whole, there is some visual changes. I'm going to log in so I can just take a look. I think one of the coolest features is in Finder, you now can choose to have folders to be different colors and then give them your custom little emoji or symbol on them. So
couldn't you label stuff before in Mac OS?
You could do tags. Yeah. But now see, I have a folder on my Mac Mini called Code, and it is orange because orange is the best color, and it's got a little outline of an iPhone on it, and this is so cute.
Orange is a pretty good color.
I do like orange. It's good.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, when will all this stuff officially not be beta?
I mean, you have to imagine it would be like late September before the new iPhones come out, usually in October. So between end of September, beginning of October, probably.
Okay. Yeah. I'm really intrigued by the windowing thing on the iPad, because I think it'd be cool to be able to have, Arc open and then YouTube or something.
Yeah. It even works on iPad minis for some reason. Who knows why? But you can have Windows on a mini. Go crazy.
So That's an interesting thing, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what about the scaling? So, let's say I'm watching something on YouTube and I need to
Okay.
flip over to like Arc to like read
Okay.
about how terrible everything is.
Mm-hmm.
When
Okay.
I window YouTube,
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
does
try
it
it right now.
respect like the aspect ratio of the video, or is it like the entire YouTube app becomes a window?
Let's see. So I've
Because
resized
you
it
know what I
down a little
mean. Like
bit.
when I'm looking at the YouTube app on my phone, the video's
Mm-hmm.
at the top, the comments are
Mm-hmm.
underneath, like other stuff's
Okay.
there.
Let me
Like
pick
what
a.
happens? Because like today, if I
Oh,
swipe up, it puts like
y-
just the video there.
yeah. So it's resizing. It looks like it's just if you get it low enough, it becomes the iPad app essentially. But it basically when I resize it to be kind of little, it's like 80% video, and then there's a little white bar at the bottom that has the name of the video. What
Okay.
happens if I put it in full screen? So full screen. Okay, so full screen is full screen inside of the window. So it's full screen, but it's windowed, and then I can open Arc beside it. And let me go away, Arc. I want to resize you. Yeah, yeah, it totally works. It works exactly how you want it to. Exactly how you want it to.
Exactly how you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, how you hope it would work. Uh,
Okay. Maybe it's time for me to finally get an iPad.
yeah, yeah. And if you want to do it, all you have to do is when you go into general and software update, there is a option for the beta updates. You just pick iOS 26 public beta, and it'll download the update and reboot. And you're a big beta boy like me, so
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So this next one here.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say that I saw this show up on my Blue Sky feed. A friend of the show, Andy Levy, was having a discussion with somebody about using Macs.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, and I don't know if you saw this either,
I,
but
I I did. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So apparently, Apple has confirmed that they are working on a MacBook Pro with built-in cellular, aka
Well,
5G.
Apple hasn't said shit. People have dug around in the beta OSs and found references to
Oh,
it.
Apple code confirmed. Sorry, I
Yes,
didn't
yeah,
read.
yep,
I
yep, yep.
can't read.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
Apple doesn't
look,
talk about upcoming products, but yeah.
yeah. Now, look, we've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle so much with the idea of needing cellular in a computer. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
warm to
Okay.
the idea of it being in an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't envision myself being anywhere, anywhere that I would need my computer that Wi-Fi isn't an option. And even if it wasn't, being able to tether to answer a Slack message or use my phone to answer a Slack message. This is not for me, and I'm not
Yeah.
judging. Like some people want this. Some people like
Mm-hmm.
I know ATP rattles
Mm-hmm.
on about this constantly.
Yes.
Would you buy a new MacBook Pro if it had this?
Would I replace my current Mac early for this? No.
Okay.
When I bought a new Mac, would I seriously consider buying the cellular option? Yes. If
Okay.
I bought the cellular option, would I necessarily activate it right away? No.
I'm so confused.
But I would like to have the option to activate it when I wanted it.
Where
I
are
see, but
people working that they
That's
need
the
this?
that's the thing is I don't necessarily there are occasions. So what the I have cellular an active cellular connection on my iPad.
Yep, we've talked about that.
Uh what I like what I like doing the most is like the biggest use case I have for it is if I'm off and I'm picking up my daughter from something or somewhere, or like she has an event at the high school and like I'm like 20 minutes away from the high school and maybe the event is an hour or an hour and a half and I do the math in my head. It's like, well, it's not enough time for me to go home. I'll just sit in the parking lot. And I love having the cellular on my iPad there because I can watch YouTube videos, I can check some email, I can catch up on Teams. I can do a lot of I'm a middle manager, so I can do basically do all of
Yeah,
my
you
work
do whatever
stuff.
you want.
I can do whatever I want from my iPad, and I love that. Uh I don't know if I had a Mac with cellular, if I would actually, no, I wouldn't. I would not bring my Mac in that situation. I would still keep my iPad because I like, I like the ability of iPad that I can tear it out of the keyboard case and I can watch a video, or I can turn it sideways, and like, I can read comic books on it. I can do whatever I want with that sucker. It's great. I love it. Uh, so that's my primary use case for it. On the occasions that I do travel, I do like having it so I don't have to worry about whatever the Wi-Fi is, or like just if it's congested, or do I have a good signal in the seat that I picked? Because usually my places, the cellular signal is usually pretty good there. So I do like having it. I don't think I would ever give it up, but I don't know whether I hope they do cellular in their Macs. I just don't know if it's going to be an. The situations where I'd like having it, I think I'd rather have an iPad. If that makes
That's the
sense.
thing, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can kind of get on board with the iPad cellular. I can, even the watch, because I don't want to lug my phone and I want to be able to go for a run and have cellular. I can buy into that. Does
I've
that mean
never
that
bothered to activate the cellular in my watch ever.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't understand the people who, of all the things you could tell Apple to work on, this is so far down the list for me.
Yeah,
And I know some people go nuts for this,
yeah.
but I
I
don't
can
get
see
it.
some use cases. Like if you travel, I mean, you do travel a lot, but like, I could see, like people who spend a lot of time in airports and driving in between places to be able to not like, oh geez, I need to review my presentation and change a couple slides, and the Uber ride from the airport to the office, and I can just pull out my Mac and connect to cellular and do whatever I need to do, and anything like that.
Listen,
Or people who like actually do works for a living and have to like drive around to different places. I could see like that, but
okay. So traveling nurses, for example, nurses that
yes,
do in-home care,
yes,
but you know what?
yes.
They're not on laptops.
What
Like
are they?
the guy that came to my house to give me my quote to run the iPad thing,
Mm.
he's on an iPad with cellular.
Yeah.
That's all he needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The actual computer, though, I struggle. I really struggle. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of door-to-door salespeople or stuff like that using iPads now. I mean, heck, my company employs people that do that, and we give them iPads. And and I think it is kind of nicer because I think like maybe this is the me problem, but like if I'm talking to somebody and I want to show them something on my screen, there's like different levels. Like if I'm showing it on my iPhone, it's extremely casual. My iPad is a little less casual, but still pretty good. But like, look at my computer feels like an invasion of privacy.
You're putting somebody on a pip, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what you're doing in that situation. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and again, like the comments in the Blue Sky thread, and I'm not, and Andy, if you're listening, I'm not begrudging you. It's just, I don't understand why people think they need this. And I spend my money on dumb shit. And it's so hypocritical for me to talk about this, but it's just like, explain your use case to me. Now, the one person that was in the thread that was talking about this is a big camper. But isn't the point of camping getting
not have
away
that,
from that stuff?
Yeah.
Like, do you want technology pervasive with you on a camping trip?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So here's the question, right? Hold on. Let me exit the education store here. So currently on an iPad, I'm just going to look at an iPad Pro. Get me out of this. Come on. I don't want to be in the education store. That's why I hit exit the first time, motherfucker. Okay. iPad Pro. Let's try this again. Buy. Okay, so right now it costs, let's pick the 11-inch model, black. Okay, so standard glass. It costs an additional Let's see.
Oh
So
yeah, we haven't even
it's not,
talked about that part.
yeah. So it is basically $200 extra on an iPad to get cellular. How much do you think they would charge on a Mac?
I would imagine the same. I'm not.
I'm gonna.
I know that it'll be more.
I think it's gonna be more because I think they're gonna think like, well, this is a computer, so we can charge more. I think it's gonna be like $300 for the option.
You're probably not. You're probably not wrong. Yeah. You're probably not wrong.
That's significant. If it was $300, I'd have to think really hard about that because $300, I can get you a nice juicy RAM upgrade. You know,
it could. Like, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, think about how much more every day you could get for $300, especially on a Mac.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is like for the two situations a year that you need this.
Yeah,
is it really worth it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah. I'd have to think long and hard about whether I would do it or not. I do love it on my iPad, but I like it on my iPad because it's an iPad.
Right. And I can I would never do that, but I have an easier time accepting that. I really do. Yeah. Because if you needed to hop on your computer and update a Google slide or answer a Teams message or anything, fucking Tether. Like it's not like that's all you have to do. Yeah. You already pay for cellular on your phone, right? And don't tell me like and again, this is why I can buy into the iPad thing because the iPad as a media consumption device, I could totally see having cellular for that, right?
Yeah.
Versus watching it on my phone, but I'm not in the habit of taking my MacBook Pro around and watching videos on it. I'm not. Like that's not what I'm about, you know?
Yeah.
So long story short, I think it'll be interesting if they do. I kind of secretly hope they don't. I know all these code sleuths have done all this work. I'm actually disappointed that they're doing it.
Okay, we'll figure this out all together.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay. We were on a roll.
I don't either.
This is all staying in. So what happened on your end there?
So I heard a noise. Blink, blink. It was the Libsyn Connect noise.
Yep.
And I was like, what was that noise?
Yep.
And then I went down and I was reading the error messages to the dear listeners because it was an awful error message of like, user with ID, your email address not in quorum. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
What are we, a SQL server? Like,
so I don't know if the recording is going to continue. I'm going to have two files. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to find out together. It said it could not upload my critical chunks, and it just booted me out of the call. Maybe Libsyn went down because I didn't lose internet.
I never lost connection. So
you were on the call the whole time, or
I was on the call the whole time. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Weird.
Well, you got to manage those chunks, right?
Yeah, I got to manage all the chunks. All right. Anyway, I think that's probably a good time to switch topics anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Last topic of the night. So it's time for a new dishwasher, Paul.
Me too, Drew.
Okay. So
I need a new dishwasher.
Here's the thing, though. Our dishwasher is working.
So is mine, technically. Yeah.
Okay. So in this essay, I will tell you why I want a new dishwasher.
Okay.
So a couple things. Number one, our dishwasher is not getting things very clean right now.
Okay, I don't have that problem with mine, but I do have other problems.
Like, I'm not an animal. I'm not throwing whole plates of uneaten food in my dishwasher, right?
Right.
I rinse most of the time, and at very minimum, I will take like a paper towel or a napkin that I was using, and I will wipe out the excess spinach or noodles or chicken or whatever that I didn't eat. Right?
I'm going to tell you, you're cleaning your plates too much before you put them in the dishwasher.
Oh, honey, no.
Soap works a little better when there's some fat for it to connect onto. You'd be surprised if you left some crud on there, how much cleaner your stuff will be.
I'm sorry. Am I talking to RFK? Like, what are we doing here?
Scrape, don't rinse.
Scrape, don't rinse.
So get big chunks off. But like, if there's like some sauce on there or whatever,
I'm so mad at you right now.
Do not. No, I'm telling you, it works better because that's how soap works.
I understand.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
Anyway, I, I got a real problem with that. So look, all I know is my dishwasher has not been getting things as clean as I would like. And the other thing is, at some point, the racks in my dishwasher are not on rails. They are on wheels.
Oh,
They are on
mine too.
wheels that sit on
Mine too.
rails. Now,
Mm-hmm.
somehow, one of those wheels came off and wound up on a heating element. And my
Ooh.
house smelled awful for a few days. Now, only part of the wheel melted. So Mr. Fix It here decided to basically immobilize that wheel so it stays on the track. It's kind of hard to open our bottom rack right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now I can probably go onto some parts website and buy another wheel or do whatever. But look, I don't care. I'm sick of dishwashers with heating elements because anytime a piece of food or a plastic wheel or a cup or something falls through there, my wife has like these silicone straws. And if one somehow winds up in the bottom of the dishwasher, like forget about it, right?
Okay.
So I've had it in my mind to get a new dishwasher for a while. So I've been doing research. Now, before I tell you about what I'm buying, why are
Okay.
you in the market for a new dishwasher?
So, uh, so again, my racks are also just on wheels, and I just find that absolutely annoying because any little thing, I feel like it's gotten worse. That like things just get askew, and then I'm like cursing at the damn thing, trying to jam the fucking thing back in. Also, the the actual like racks in the dishwasher, the coating on them keeps coming off and they keep rusting. I have replaced like the top
Huh.
and the bottom, and it continues to happen, and I'm getting tired of it. And the last kind of straw was the ceiling, the thing that keeps the water on the inside of the dishwasher and not on your floor, is starting to peel away. It's only at the top, so I don't have any leaks, but I do not like the fact that it's starting to come apart. So at this point, I'm kind of just like, yeah, my dishwasher works, it's fine, but I'm tired of dealing with the stuff. When we bought the appliances for the house, we basically like did one of those like, we'll just buy all the same brand and get a discount in a
Yeah.
set. And the only appliance in there, well, technically I have the microwave and the dishwasher left from that original purchase. The stove and the fridge all died of that, and I'm just kind of tired. So I want, and also the new ones have 3 racks, Drew.
Yes, that's the other thing.
3 racks,
3 whole racks, buddy. I love a good rack. All right. So
what are you looking at? I've done a little bit of research. I really haven't dug in too much, but
yeah,
which is why when you said we hope this, I'm like, ooh, I hope Joe picked out a dishwasher, and I'll just buy it too.
All right. So after doing my research, really the internet is in love with 2 particular brands, and in those brands, 2 particular models in general.
Okay.
So the two brands that are very, very popular are Bosch.
Okay, Bosch. That's what I was looking at. Bosch. Yes.
And this other company that I admittedly had never heard of before, Miele, Miele. I don't know how to say it right.
Miele dishwashers.
Yeah.
That is a weird thing to pronounce.
Yeah. Now, apparently, these 2 brands are the ones to get. And within these brands, there are particular models that are just basically universally loved. So after doing the research and reading about them and, reading reviews, which is all just like AI slop now, and then like reading Reddit, which, by the way, hey, quick sidebar, I'm spending so much more time on Reddit now.
Me too.
I'm so sick of the fucking AI slop that ends up everywhere. Reddit is like the only place where you get real human interaction anymore. And I'm like so close to actually paying for Reddit because of it. And I swear I would never do that.
I actually have a Raycast shortcut that allows me to do a Google search with the site Reddit, so I can just like because like it's just better. You do a Google search, you find all the Reddit posts, and you go from there and you start reading. You find the one subreddit filled with just crazy dishwasher nerds, and you dive deep.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. The appliances subreddit. Yeah, that's a good place to go. So,
Uh-huh.
look, long story short, I did buy one. It is not here
Okay.
yet. So, I
Okay.
ended up going with the Bosch 800 series.
That's literally the one I was looking at. Yes.
There are many different types of the 800 series. So, you have to be very, very careful with the model number. People really like there's one that is labeled as ADA compliant. And apparently the reason that people like that one is that it essentially is manufactured up to the same standards of the ones that are produced in Germany. The reason I didn't go with that one though is that it's not full size. It'll like you could adjust the feet and you can make it fit in a standard 24-inch cavity or whatever. But I didn't end up going with that one. I went with a particular model number. It's just the Bosch 800 series, 24-inch counter, top control built-in dishwasher. Again, there's a couple variations on whether or not you want a recessed handle or an external handle, if you want like a particular stainless steel, or if you want it to match like your cabinets or something. But this is the one I ended up going with. And again, a couple cool reasons. There's no exposed heating element, which is again the number one thing I really care about. It has 3 racks. The bottom rack is on wheels, but they are sort of like not rails. They're basically part of like how do I explain it? They're basically just like part of the side, as opposed to being a separate rail that they can like come out of, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're big on this crystal dry technology, which again is done without the heating elements. It's Bosch, it's going to last forever. I would never
Looks
ever.
nice. Yeah,
it's a nice looking thing. So I ended up buying it from Lowe's. I'm having them install it. The one thing that I will tell you though, and I'm glad that having Lowe's install it. Like I know that I can hook up a dishwasher. I've seen people do it. I know that I can do it. I just want them to haul away my old one, which is part of the reason that like I'm paying for the service.
Yeah.
But
and plus like getting those brackets under there so it stays right in your countertop. That's a pain in the ass. That's always awkward. Like just let someone else do that.
Yeah. Well, so I'll warn you of this. How far is your dishwasher from your sink?
Oh, right beside it. Beside it.
So
right to the right of it. Yeah.
So the Bosch dishwashers have a proprietary hose hookup system.
Okay.
Now, my dishwasher is considered a wraparound. Now, you've been to my home, like where my sink is. My dishwasher is like, I kind of have like this island that like juts out into my kitchen, and like that's where my dishwasher is. And I remember when I had my countertops replaced, I think I told this story on the podcast. He hooked up one of the hoses, but apparently like there's an extension hose that he didn't hook up to my sink. So like water wound up in my basement. It was a whole thing. It was a complete accident. I didn't know it was there. But when the installer called me to schedule, like it's going to be shipped to Lowe's, we'll pick it up, we'll bring it, we'll install it. They're like, which model did you get? I told them, and they're like, okay, well, how far is your dishwasher from the sink? Because I guess this happens a lot. So I had to like order the special hose extension that goes to this dishwasher, but it was like $16. It's not the end of the world, but just a cautionary tale that like when you're ordering this, if you do need a different hose, like I guess you have to buy a Bosch one. Like there are knockoffs on Amazon, but I'm like, nah.
I don't want anything with water. I want it to fit right.
Yeah. Yeah. Universal fits Bosch. I'm like, are we sure?
No.
Like
that just means you have to like, there's a clamp.
Yeah.
You have to get tight.
Clamps all the way down. Yeah. So here, this is the one I ended up getting. I'll just put a link in here. Our install date isn't until the end of the month. So
I like the so you went with the recess handle. Yep. That's also what I was thinking about, because ours has an external handle and I think it looks really ugly because it's just juts out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, this is I think this is pretty much the one I was thinking about as well.
Yeah. Now let's not bury the lead. Okay. It's kind of pricey.
Yeah. I mean, it's $1,500.
Yeah. Now, again, Bosch makes several, just like everything else, they make several tiers of dishwasher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the
Mm-hmm.
300 series is the cheapest one. It's roughly $1,000. They have a 100 series that is $700. They have the 300 series. I think they have a 500. Yeah, they have a
Yeah, there's a
500
500
series.
as well.
So basically, it's like every jump goes up by like $200 or $300,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the features you want and the size and all that different stuff. And then like of course they have like ones that if you have like shaker style cabinets or something and you want it to look like your
Mm-hmm.
cabinets,
Yeah.
like yeah. I mean, I the one we have now is a Maytag. I will never again buy a Samsung or an LG anything appliance. So I looked at like Maytag, I looked at Bosch, obviously, Whirlpool. A lot of these are all kind of the same dishwasher, but I think Bosch is kind of up there. Now that Mile brand, or however you say it, there are apparently that brand has a cult, kind of like Speed Queen washers. You ever talk to somebody that's owned a Speed Queen?
Yeah, you'll know about it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you
yeah.
know about it, right?
Oh, these are even these get crazy
Uh
expensive.
huh.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah,
Yeah, like 3 grand for some of these suckers. Holy shit!
yeah. But apparently, again, they run forever, and they're like the Speed Queen of dishwashers, is how they've been phrased to me. But
Okay, okay.
so yeah, so what are you thinking? Like, were you gonna do one of these or what?
I don't know. Since you did the research. I'm only started to dabble in the research. I probably ended up in the same subreddits you did. Started looking at reviews and stuff, and it definitely looked like the Bosch was like a very well regarded brand. Uh, he said it had and it was nice and like it looked nice and it had some of the features I wanted. So I was leaning towards one of the Bosch as well. I'd never even heard of this other one, and I had looked at some of like the Maytag and Whirlpool. Then there was this, I think it was a Whirlpool where like it opens up, like you don't have to open it, you just like wave your hand at it and it opens automatically. I'm
Nah,
like,
yeah,
that's gonna break like
yeah,
within like 90
yeah.
days. Uh,
And see,
like I'm
that's our wisdom talking, right? There
yeah.
would absolutely be a period of my life where I'm like, I gotta have that, right? But now
Uh-huh.
that I'm older and stuff
Yeah.
costs way more money,
Yeah, but it's also like I'm gonna have to bend down to get the dishes out of the fucking thing anyway.
right? It's not
You
gonna
know,
unload
like
itself, right?
no, exactly.
Until they
Like, what
invent a
does this
dishwasher
do?
that catapults the plates out of the dishwasher and into my cabinets.
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, and I really I liked they look good. I mean, they're very understated. There's not any kind of like branding on the outside. All the
Mm-hmm.
controls are at the top. I like that. So it just looks like a stainless steel, like a faceless stainless steel block. It doesn't draw attention to itself. I really liked these, and I wasn't sure which series I was getting, but you buying the 800, I think is kind of pushing me in that direction. I'll have to run it past the War Department, but
Yeah, I mean, when I was comparing the different models and the features and everything, I was at a minimum going to be in the 500 series. And then I started
yeah,
like reading about the 800 series and I'm like, okay, so it's a little more money, might as well, right?
yeah.
Okay, while we're here
Hmm.
though, what do you use in your dishwasher? Like what kind of soap pods or what type of product do you use in your dishwasher?
I am extremely lazy. I use they're like the little pods,
Yeah, I think that's
and,
what they
and
all are now.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
you
think that
can
makes
get
you
you
lazy.
you can still get like detergent or liquid. You still can get that stuff. Uh,
But do you
I
use
use
like do you use like the
I use
Finish stuff in there
yeah
too?
I use Finish Quantum, and I do fill it up with jet dry because I do like uh I don't like we have a lot of clear glasses and I do not like spots on them.
Yeah.
So I do use jet dry, the Finish name brand stuff, and I use like I think they're Finish Quantum uh uh little pods. Uh
Yeah, I freak out. I freak out if there's any residue in anything that comes out of my dishwasher. I'm like, "Well, you're going right
yeah.
back in." Like,
Hmm. Yeah.
that's the thing that freaks me
Yeah.
out.
That's another thing that's been bothering me about dishwasher is not every time, but recently there'll be like a smear of the pod
Ew.
the place where it goes. Like it didn't get all of it. I'm
Oh, it
like,
didn't dissolve all the way.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Right.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Something is wrong.
So
Yeah.
the dishwasher you have now is when you bought the house.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
And
not very
it's an
old.
no, it's not. It's not, and it
It works,
still
right?
works. It works. It still works.
Yeah, my
You know,
dishwasher still works. It doesn't work the way
I,
I want it to, but it still works.
yeah, I don't. It's like I said, the ceiling. It's the ceiling starting to go. I've had to replace the racks multiple times. In fact, the one I have in the bottom is starting to rust again. It's
I feel like
becomes
rust is something a dishwasher shouldn't do.
no, 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 and it's becoming increasingly harder to find parts for it to get in there to feel like it's like I think in between the last time I had bought them, or like the first time and second time I bought them, it was like it was a different model number, but everyone's like, okay, it's the same size, it's fine, it'll absolutely work. Like, well, will it? Because it's really not. They discontinued that model. And I'm just kind of sick of it. Like, I wish it would just break. Like every time, like I did have one of the things where it said like uh hey, I did like the error could basically mean like I didn't drain as quickly as I thought I was going to drain. And I'm like, I hope it's just not the filter. I hope it's actually dead. I just need to clean the filter. Uh, by the way, people, your dishwasher has the filter. Clean it out.
Yep. Yep. 100%. It's gross.
But
It's
you
gross.
got to do it.
You got to do it.
You got to do it. You got to do
It's
it.
kind of like cleaning your shower drain. Like every once in a while, you got to reach in there. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was like, just please be dead. Just please be dead.
Yeah.
No. It's still chugging along. But I've got permission to basically like let's just get a new one.
Yeah. So the dishwasher is going to be the first appliance I think that's going to get replaced here since we've moved. I have no idea how old the dishwasher is here. We really like our gas stove. The microwave might be next. The fridge is still working. We have a really good fridge. Yeah, I don't know. I think the microwave is probably the next thing we're probably going to think about.
Okay.
But cool. Well, so I guess we recorded 2 shows. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how that's all going to work, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Oh, I already have the recordings from the first half, so
Okay.
I'll just have another set of files. I believe
We're so good at this, Paul.
So yeah, I'll splice that all together, and it'll be a whole show.
All right, let's get out of here.